Welcome back everybody, this is Awais back with another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you Git. Git is a free and open source distributed version control system designated to handle everything from small to very large projects with speed and efficiency. That's just a statement from Git official website, which is git-scm.com. Now a lot of people use Git GUI clients, which basically some of them are source tree, GitHub desktop, Git extensions, and so on. But if you are a developer and you want to master a terminal, then I would highly recommend avoid using these, because there's a lot of things that GUI software might have some bug and wouldn't perform the way you want it to work. This is why I'm doing this crash course on Git using terminal. So here I'm going to show you the commands that are useful. Being as a developer, if you're a beginner, then this is the best video that you're gonna ever watch, that you have ever watched. So yeah, let's get started with this crash course. I'm gonna target 15 to 20 minutes on this. So let's get started. So first of all, how do we create repositories with Git? Now I'm gonna go to one of the folder, and here I'm in a terminal, forgot to mention. So here I'm gonna go and create a folder. So we use mkdir. I'll say git crash. Alright, I'm gonna cd to git crash, and here we will create a few files first, and then we are going to use git and initialize our repository. First of all, I'm going to use the command touch, and I'll say index.html file. Now we can open this to nano. Oops. We gotta go out, so nano index.html, and here I'll type some default tags for that. So HTML title, okay, so this is the default code for making this document as an HTML document. So here I'll say welcome to Git crash course. Okay, now we're gonna save this, and I'm gonna close this now. So let's close the file, and now here we have a file index.html, but we wanna initialize our Git repository. So the command for that would be git init. I'm gonna press enter. It says initialized empty Git repository in Git crash. Okay, so right now we have only one file. Now our repository has been initialized. So I'm gonna say git status. It tells me, okay, I am on master branch. I don't have any commits yet, and I have this untracked files. So when you say untracked file, means that Git is not actually looking at this file. So when we add this to tracked files, then Git is going to look at this file. Anything changes, it is going to actually give us a status for that. So let's do that now. So I'll type here git status again, and now our file is untracked. So how do we add this file to tracked file? First of all, let's take a look at that now. So we have this git add and then file name. Press enter. Now git status again, and now you see that we have this green color for our index.html file. It says a new file now. That means Git is going to look for changes in this file from now on. Okay, that's done. Now what we want to do is we want to go to nano and open this index.html file and make any change, and then we'll see the git status. So I'll do nano index.html file, and I'll say h2. I'm going to make changes to this file. Okay, let's save this, enter, get out. Now if I do git status, and now I can see there's one file which is index.html which is added, but also we have some changes which Git says changes not stacked for the commit. Now every time you make any change, you gotta add that file to stack. So what we do, again, git add index.html. Now I do a git status again, and now this time we only see that, hey, index.file has been stacked, so all the changes has been stored for you. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to basically see what is the change that we did in the index.html file. So a lot of time the GUI software will go and show you the changes automatically, but what if you want to look at those changes into the terminal? So I'll open this file and then I'll make a change here. So I'll say h3 and I'll say just made a change. Okay, I'm gonna save the file. Let's get out, and now I'm typing git status and I see something's changed into index.html file, but how do I see that what's changed? So I'll do a command here which is git diff. Press enter. Now it's showing me, hey, I've changed this plus green color, says h3 just made a change. So it's showing me what is the new thing here in the file. Now I can see, oh okay, I changed this file. Now let's say you don't want to add this file, okay, you don't want to add this change to the snapshot of a git. So we can do that by git reset and then index.html file. Press enter. Now if I go and look at git status, it says, oh, we have an untracked file. Okay, that's fine because we actually resetted this file. Now if we go to and open this file into Nano, I'll see, hey, I have made some changes but it's still there. I want it to be reset. Okay, so we'll get out. Now what I do, git add index.html file. Now we'll do git status. Now it's been tracked. Now the git reset only, basically it unstacks the file but it preserves its content. It does not change its content. Okay, that's fine. So before we look at that git reset and want to get rid of the changes that we've done, we want to look at how do we commit, how do we basically record a file snapshot permanently in the history. So that means you want to have to commit the code. So what we'll do is we use git commit space -m, and then in the double quotation we say this is the initial commit. I'm going to press enter, and now it says, oh, one file change and 11 insertion. Now created mode on 10064 index.html. Now if I look at git status, it says, oh, on the branch master, nothing to commit, working tree clean. Okay, that's cool. So I'll do an nano index again, and here I will add another line here. Okay, so I'll do h4, let's say another line. Okay, let's save that by Control O, enter, Control X, exit. And now here, if I do git status, it says, oh, the file has been modified, because in red color, and also it says modified index.html. Now let's take a look at what we changed. We do that by git diff, and here we have this line of code saying another line in the h4 tag. That's right, but I didn't want to do this. I don't want to check, I don't want to basically keep that in file. How do I do it? So the way I do it, by using git reset, but instead of just resetting and giving a file name, so which would be index.html, now I want to use a flag here which is --hard. Okay, so --hard will, what it'll do, it will just get rid of the file and it will make a file as it was on the last commit. So I press enter. So it says cannot reset with paths. Okay, so we'll do this git reset index.html. Alright, it tells me it cannot do reset with paths. So what is mean by a path? A path is basically we're saying which file to reset. Okay, that's basically saying that we cannot use that with the path. So what I'll do is I'll just do git reset -- hard, press enter. It says head is now at D20. This is like a commit code. So now git status, and if I see the file what's changed with nano index.html, I see that the line 4 that I added it's just gone. Now our file is at the same stage where we did the last commit. So we made the last commit, but that code is gone now. So git reset, if you just do git reset, it will unstack the file. You can define a path or you can define the file name as well. But if you do git reset with the -- hard flag, then it will reset the whole changes of your file, or you have multiple changes in multiple files, it will reset all of those to the last commit. So be careful when you do -- hard flag. It's very destructive. Okay, let me just get out from this, and now we'll move to the next one. So right now you can see we have one commit, but how do we see that what commit we have? Now a lot of people use GUI for that because it's easier, but you can do the same thing on the terminal as well by using git log. Now git log shows you, hey, I had one commit, and the message was this is the initial commit. It'll give you date and it'll give you the author name. Okay, now author name is there because we need to configure our git configuration object. You can call it, or you can call the file that you can change. How do we change that? So I'm going to show you 3 commands for that. So first of all, we do git config, and first flag will be global, and then you will have to say, hey, I want to change the name. So I'll do user.name, and then in the double quotes I will type my username. So I'll just say always, and I'll change that. And now if I do git status, it says, oh, index.html modified. Now what we'll do, we'll add this file and commit again. So we'll do git add index.html git commit -m. I'll say another commit by always, enter. Now let's take a look at the status now. Git status, oh, nothing changed, so that's good. We do git log. But this time if you look at, we have author set to always, and here we have author set to always Jamil. So this is how you can change your author name. Also you can also change your email as well. So I can do this git config -- global user.email this time, and I don't want to change my email, but I'll just leave that here. Okay, that's what you use, and you use the double quotation. Within that you type your email. Alright, that's one command. Also we can enable helpful colorization command line output. So if I go git config -- global, I'll use a color.ui, and here I'm gonna say auto. Okay, this time I'll do git status, nothing changed. That's cool. So that option, if you don't see the color scheme like mine, then you can change the color. Okay, so far we've covered how do we commit from terminal, how do we reset or reset hard, how we can change how we can see the change file. One thing that user want to see on the GUI clients, which is like a graph of your commits and different branches of the commit. So for that, I'm gonna take you to another project because this is just an index file and I don't want to go here. So we'll do development. Okay, so in this project I will have git status, Ooh, a lot of change. So I won't commit this, but I want to show you the graph. Okay, so let's clear it out. We do a git log, which gives me this text. Okay, who committed, who did what message. So that's good. Now to get out from the log, you press Q, and that will get you out from the git log. Now I want to show you the graph. So git log -- graph, and then press enter. Now look at this. So we have a similar kind of a graph that you see on the GUI. Now you can see what happened. Okay, now you could even decorate this one. So let me just do git log -- graph -- decorate. Okay, and then press enter. Now I'll give you some more decoration. It will tell you the branch name, and so the best way to learn more about this command is by going to the Git documentation and then search for graph. So do git manual, and here I'm gonna search for graph. Well, it wouldn't show you because it's not actually a command, it's a flag. So we go to the git log, and here we see a decorate flag that will decorate some of the names and commits. Also we will have something like one line committing. So I would highly recommend. Okay, so one line, it says pretty one line. I want to use this too. So let's get out, let's clear the console or terminal. I'm going to use this -- pretty. Actually, I had to remove these two dash. Let's enter, and this time you see a little bit different kind of UI. It just showing you more details in different colors. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of things that you see in a GUI client for Git, you can see them here as well, which is cool, right? Now on the terminal, you want to play with the branches. So you want to create a branch, you want to merge a branch, or you want to just change your branch. For that, I'm going to take you back to the project that we created. So that would be git crash. Nope, not here. Right, so I'll do cd git crash. Alright, so now we're back to the project. We say git status. Okay, well, clean branch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new branch, and then I will commit on those, and then I will show you how you can commit on those, and when you see a graph you will see something different here. Okay, so let's do git check out, and then the branch name, I'll just do second branch. Enter. It says, oh, the branch did not match any file to known to Git. Okay, what's going on here? So we'll do git branch. It tells me I'm in a master branch, and then if I say git branch, and I can give a name where I want to go. So if I say second, enter, and now if I do git branch, it tells me, oh, I have a second branch there as well. So if you define a name, it'll basically create that branch. It will not switch, but it will create a new branch with the name that you provide. So this is cool. Okay, let me clear the console. We do git branch again. It has to run, but how do I switch to the branch name second? I'll do git check out, and then second. Alright, it will switch to the second branch. It gives you a message on the terminal saying I switched to the second branch. This is good. Now if I go to git status, I see nothing's changed on the second branch, so we make a change to our index.html file. I'll do nano index.html, and here I will say fourth message with h1 tag, say I created a new branch and switch to it. Oh, wrong spelling. All right, I'm gonna save these changes, get out, and then press enter. And now if I do git clean branch, it tells me I'm in a master branch, and then if I say second branch, it tells me I'm in a second branch. So if you define a name, it'll tell you, oh, I have a second branch there as well. So this is cool. Okay, And now if I do git status, I see there's a change there. Now remember, how do we check what's changed? So we do git diff. It tells me, hey, I added some lines and I added this h1 tag, and I create a new branch and switch to it. That's cool. So git status again, and then here we will make a commit. So I'll do git commit dash message. Hang on, but what we are committing now, before you commit to git, you make sure that you have to add the changes into stacked. So it says changes not stacked for the commit. Okay, we'll do git add an index.html file. Now if I do git status, it tells me, hey, that's been modified, but it's been stacked as well. Now I can do a reset and go back to it. So I'll do git reset index.html. Now unstack changes after reset. I do git status. Well, I'm back to the red color of the index.html and says again same message, changes not stacked for the commit, and also it tells me what's changed now. So I'll do git diff. Again, I'm back to it. So I'm back. I reverted my branch snapshot to unstacked. We do git add index.html. Alright, now let's check out status. Well, I've been modified. Now let's make a commit here. I'll do git commit dash m. Let's say first commit on the second branch. Enter. Git status. Now our branch is clean. Now it's time for us to take a look at the graph. So we'll do git log dash dash graph dash dash decorate, and then I paste pretty is equal to one line. Now, okay, well, we have a change there, a second commit, and then the master commit. So let's remove this pretty online, enter, and now there you go. We have a graph. Now it looks like it's the same line, but to separate those, we need to make sure that we commit something on the master branch too. Now let's go back. So git checkout master, clear it, we check git status, and we can verify that we are on the master branch here. Cool. So let's do nano index.html, and here I will say h1. I say I switched back to master branch. Okay, and let's write it out and then close the file. Now I'll do git status. It tells me something's changed, so I'll do add and then file name. Now git commit message. I'll say just trying to generate a graph. And now if I go git log dash dash graph, it gives me that. Okay, well, let's decorate that as well. So dash that decorate. Oh, same thing. So it tells me I have let's just say I have this commit on git log graph decorate. Well, it's not separate part because the branch of second name branch is not, it's not actually up there. Okay, that's okay. Now because it's only showing me for the one branch which I'm currently in. So if I do dash dash all, now there you go. So you see this green line going out. This is the master branch, and then there's another slash here. It's saying, hey, there's something here as well. So I'm checking out all the branches instead of just one branch. I'm checking out all the branches. We'll go back to second branch and make another quickly make another commit there. So I'll do git checkout second nano index.html. I'll do h1. I'll say creating a second commit to second branch to see the graph, and then I'll just write it out by pressing Ctrl O, enter, and Ctrl X. Alright, let's do git status. We have changed, so git add And now this time, let's just say we have multiple files. So we can do -a as well to add all the files. Okay, doesn't work. So what I'll do, git add dot status. Okay, so now we've filed. So I made a mistake. It wasn't a flag -a, it was a dot file. A dot is not a flag, it's you just saying it that, hey, wherever you are, can you please add every single file into the stacked stage. So dot is like a directory you pointing out. All right, let's do git commit and say second commit. Second branch has second commit. Cool. Now we do git log -- graph -- decorate -- all, and there we go. We have another commit here on the master. This is the master now, and this is the second branch there. But I want to switch to git checkout master, and now we do a git graph. Okay, so there you go. So we have this line of code here, but we actually committed on the second branch, which is ahead, so we don't see that. Now if I go and change something to the master branch, so I'll do nano index.html, and I'll just add weird stuff here now. I'll just do this. Okay, let's write it out. X, and then we do git add dot git commit dash message saying it's just a commit, enter, and then we do git log. Let me use the up arrow to see what's happening here. Okay, so now there we go. So we have this a master branch on the top, but we can also see we have two commits on the second branch. So how cool is that? You don't really need to leave the terminal. For example, if I open up my IDE, which is VS Code some of the time, or WebStorm, I actually switch between those IDEs to my GUI client, and I used to do that, so it was a waste of time because I was switching too many applications to actually just see this graph. But now I can see this graph right in the terminal, so this is cool. Now we've covered a few of the commands here. We know how to change branch, how to create branch, and then next up we're gonna look at some refactoring. So basically Git can remove version files or relocate the files as well. It can delete the file from the working directory and stacked to deletion. Sometimes you create a file you don't want to add into stacked. So what we do is we'll do touch, and I'll say second.html. Let's take a look. We have two files now, and now if I go git status, we have a second file which was created. Now I will get rid of this file. For example, if I add this file, let's just say this time we do git status, and then I'm going to do a git commit message. I'll say added second .html file. Now this time it's going to add that file, but if we want to get rid of that file, then how do I do it? So I'll do git rm and then second.html file. Now it says, oh, git crash git remove second.html. Now if I look at git status, it says deleted HTML. So the next commit won't have this file in the repository anymore. So this is really great if you want to get rid of some files. Now let's just say we want to add this back on. So we just use a flag called cached. So it removes the file from the version control but preserve the file locally. Okay, so let's do ls. Right now we have only index.html file. I'm going to create another touch. I'll say third.html. Okay, so we do ls. We have two files now. I'll do git add git commit. I'll say added third file. Okay, Now if we do git status, I have nothing to change. If I do, for example, ls, we have two files here. Now here, I want to get rid of the third.html file from the repo tracked file, but not from the system. So last time, the git rm file name, I actually removed the second file, but I don't want to remove that. I just want to, remove it from the version control, which is over git, but we want to preserve the file locally. So I'll do git rm --cached flag, and I do like third.html. Okay, so it says git remove option -- cached. So I think I have written a wrong spelling for that. So do git rm cached, not cashed. I need to use this flag cached and then third.html. Enter. Now it says it's been removed from the repo, from the version control, but if I do git status, it says third.html is untracked. If I do ls, I still see the file is available. It hasn't been deleted yet. So this is good, right? So you want to get rid of the file from the track. That's good. Now, a few things that I would like to show you here with in terms of reviewing the history of the file. So here, what we're going to do now, we're going to look at some history for the file. So right now we have two files. I'm going to look at the history for index.html. So we'll do git log -- follow flag with index.html. Now what it'll give me, it gives me the history of the file. It also includes the renames. So if you have done any renames for the file, it'll show you that. Now another thing that we can look at would be show content difference between two branches. A lot of time that you want to compare a branch to a different branch, then you can compare those by using git diff command. So right now, if I look at git status, I'm on master branch, but there's two branches. So if I do git branch, okay, I have a two branch, master and a second branch. So what I'll do git diff, and then I will type the first branch name, which is master, and then the second branch name, second, and this will tell me what are the changes are available in these two branches. So what changes I've done in the master branch and what I've changed in the second branch. So you can look at it, saying that the index 5.1, it gives you the number of commits as well, and it's just showing you the changes, what's changed in what file. Okay, so here I didn't mention the name of the file. I could do that, and they will target the specific file only. If you do like a git diff first branch and a second branch, it will give you all the changes, whatever the changes, how many files are there, everything you will see. But if you can define a file, it'll show you the history of the file. So that's a little bit about the history. Now the next thing we want to look at is about GitHub. For example, you want to you initialize your repository locally, but ideally you want to publish that repository to a remote server. So one of them is GitHub. GitHub is a free open source, not open source, but it's a free platform where you can publish your code, and you can back it up. But again, this is not free for having a public repository. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to push this to one of the server there. So if I do git status, I have to add this file third into tracked file. So I'll do git add dot git status. Now everything is added. Do I have to commit anything? No, I don't have to commit anything. So let's do git status. Yep, everything is fine. The working tree is clean. Now what we'll do is I will first of all create a repository in the GitHub, and then I will publish that repository using a git command. So here I'm gonna go to click on new, and then here I'll just say test repo. I'll do a description here saying this is the test repository, and I will create that. and once the repository created, I will get the URL for that. Here's this. So that's what we have. I'm going to copy that, and then here the command to do that would be git remote -v. Now it doesn't show me anything, right? But I want to add the remote, so I'll do git remote add origin and then the URL. Once I add that, I'll do git remote -v. Now this time, as you can see, we have origin fetch and origin push, which means this knows if I do a git push and then type origin, and the first time you want to set the upstream as well. So let's do that. Now right now in the code, you can see in the repository, you can see there is no code there. GitHub even gives you this information saying git remote add origin and the URL for that repository, and then you do git push u origin master. Okay, so I'll do just git push. Now it's saying, hey, the current branch master has no upstream branch. So basically it's saying there's no master branch exist on your repository. So what we'll do, we can use this command which Git actually showed us, or we can just use the -u, which is a short form for set upstream. So I'll do git push -u. We'll say please do that on origin, and then the branch name, which is master. Now press enter, and it's gonna ask me, hey, invalid username and password. So I have to define the username and password for that. So we'll do git push --set upstream origin master. This will ask me for the username, so I'll type my username here and the password as well. Again, I typed the wrong password actually, so let's do that again. I think I pressed the right password this time. So there you go, it's uploading. And now if I refresh this GitHub page, you will see we have an index.html and the third.html there. And now we can do git push to make any changes and push it to the server. And also you can do git pull to get the changes from the server. For example, 2 people are working on this repository. One of your colleague uploads the code to the repo, and you want to get that code as well. So you do simply git pull. Now, not many people know this, that you can have a multiple remote setup for your local repository. So right now I am in origin. So if I look at git remote -v, this is like origin, but I can add more remotes and I can push wherever I want to. So you do git push, that will automatically take origin as the remote server. But you have a multiple, you can define git push and the server name, and then you do a push there. Okay, so these were the useful commands that I use, and I don't really leave the terminal at all. So if you want to learn further about Git, please go through this git-scm.com and go to the manual here. It'll give you a lot of information. Git is great, and it's one of the best thing ever happened to the developers. Alright, thanks for watching this video guys. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you guys in the next video.